Welcome to another edition of the Wonderbury podcast.
I'm Brian,
And I'm Dave.
and you can find us online at wonderbury.com.
You can find me on YouTube, on Twitter, at Open Darkwing.
And you can mostly find me on TikTok, where I have a couple of silly art pieces in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah. I still have
Yeah,
my one TikTok and that's it. I'm a
that's it.
I'm a lurker and occasionally comment leaver, but I haven't made content on TikTok.
We're doing more.
We took a week off, Brian. You decided you were going to go off for a week to do a job, so we took a week off. What happened?
Yeah, I did a job. It was crazy. I think I put in 100 hours over the course of the week
Ugh.
working at Auburn Free Fair in Auburn, Indiana, and bouncing around between doing trash and helping with bathrooms and checking in on sound guys, and I was all over the place. But mostly just kind of rode around in a golf cart listening to podcasts. So I did catch up on some podcasts. So
Oh, that's good.
yeah, but it was just nonstop go all week.
Yeah, there was no really time, even if I were to drive up to Auburn, just like sit down and record for an hour. I don't think it would have worked out at all. But we're back.
Yeah, but we're back. We're cruising it.
We're trying to be back at least.
So
Yeah, you did that all last week, and then Monday, me and the wonderful Mrs. drove up to Chicago for a concert Monday night and drove back yesterday. But we did something that I will probably never do again. We took kind of a back roads meandering drive up to Chicago. So normally going from Fort Wayne to Chicago, you either take the freeway to the toll road, which is the fastest driving route, or you go up Highway 30, which is kind of an angled route almost directly into Chicago. Well, we've driven that a few times, and it takes about 4 hours to get 4.5 hours to get to the north side of downtown where we were staying. We decided instead we were going to take smaller roads all the way just straight west and then go straight north up into Chicago. So kind of an L-shaped formation. The problem with that is that we also then drove through South Chicago, South Side Chicago, through downtown up to the airport or up to where our hotel was. And the normal 4-hour trick took us almost 7.5 hours to drive. Yeah. So it was very much a long drive.
yeah, holy cow.
It was
I was
good.
talking to
I think it was a lot of fun, but it was just a long drive.
yeah. I was talking to our buddy Chris, who we should have on as a guest soon, and he's moving to downtown Chicago. And
Yeah.
I think my plan is I'm gonna go down and catch a train and ride the train into Chicago.
So, yeah, there's a couple of ways to do that. Because I was looking at it because I want to go back to Chicago. I found we were driving because we kind of meandered our way out of downtown and then took a more direct route home, which wasn't nearly as
Yeah.
bad. So, but I had found a couple of places because I want to take my camera stuff up to Chicago and do some filmography as well as some photography stuff. But like not the like everyone does Navy Pier, right along the river where like Trump Tower and the Drake Hotel, like all the architecture. Everyone does that. Everyone does the Bean. I found a couple of smaller like parks, and there's this really freaking cool fountain that we saw from the car that I want to get.
Hmm.
And I think part of the metro, there is a metro line that goes out to almost to South Bend. That's part of the Chicago metro system.
Oh
And so what I
yeah.
think I'm gonna do, instead of going up to Waterloo and take Amtrak into Grand Central Station, I think what I'm gonna end up doing, because then you'll hit every Amtrak stop between here and there, and it takes almost as long, if not longer, to ride the Amtrak into Chicago than it takes to drive. I was thinking about just going up to South Bend and parking there at the metro and take a metro line in, because it's a much faster line.
Yeah. That probably wouldn't be bad either.
Because it's part of the South Shore line.
Yeah, you still only have like what, a couple hour drive that way, and then
Yeah, it's much easier and faster to get into South Bend and then do everything else through the metro. Just take the South Shore line in. Because you can go straight in from South Bend to South Bend Airport, even in if you wanted to,
yep.
and then run that. I guess it's Millennium Station, not Grand Central, but you know what I meant.
Oh yeah. No, you said that, and I was just my brain was like, yeah, that's the right one.
Yeah,
Grand Grand Central's New York.
yeah, and a one-way trip from the Hudson Lake in South Bend into Millennial Station is $13 one run.
That ain't
So
bad at
it's
all.
no, and parking at South Shore Line on the Indiana side is much, much cheaper.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I
it
was
would
just
be
thinking I could come out of like Waterloo or something, and or not Adrian, Albion, which is north of me a little ways. Go straight in, stay a night.
yeah, I
Chris
would be
actually
doing
lives right.
like a longer day trip type of a thing.
Yeah. Chris's new address is right across the street from Trump Tower.
Also, oh really? So I know exactly where he's going then, yeah.
Yeah.
Um the Waterloo into to go from Waterloo into Chicago on Amtrak is 3.5 hours and costs $35.
Hmm. Dang.
So there's that.
That
But
isn't
yeah,
bad.
three and a
I mean,
half hours
compared.
to go to run that trip out. That's a bit. But I guess if you don't want to drive, like, it's all about the driving side too. So
Yeah. Depending on what you're driving, it might be worth it for gas money too.
yeah. Yeah, that could very easily be.
Oh, hey,
But
I
yeah, we went and
forgot.
saw Bloodywood Monday night, which
Yeah.
is they're an Indian folk metal band. And it was just an absolute blast. Small
Nice.
venue, maybe like 200 people. And for their 60-minute set, um, Chicago showed up and they moshed for about 50 of the 60 minutes. It was absolutely insane.
Nice. What was the venue?
It was, give me a second, because I don't remember. It was something kitchen. Beat Kitchen, I think is what it was called.
Hmm.
Yeah, Beat Kitchen Chicago. So it's a small bar, and then it's got like kind of an event space in the back.
Cool. Yeah, we forgot a very important beginning thing that we do on the podcast is I wanted to tell you about I had my one rooster is getting old. So I took him
Yeah.
into KFC today because he wanted to see a chicken strip.
Oh, that one's good. I'm gonna remember that one. See, I
Yeah,
translate all these over to my kids and drive them absolutely insane.
that one works good because I actually have chickens and I have a rooster. He's actually
Yeah, that
pretty
is
old.
true.
And his name is actually Harlan. So I call him Harlan, which is Harlan Sanders of Colonel Harlan Sanders. So, you know,
You know what you call a whale that doesn't wear its underwear?
what?
Free Willy. Yep.
That was so good it made me wheeze.
Yep. All the fun stuff.
Yeah. So, Dave,
Yes,
tomorrow,
sir.
which will be last week by the time this gets recorded, we have a Google thing.
Yeah, that's yep.
Yep.
We're gonna be going
And
live for that,
they're
I think.
going to be announcing things they already announced.
Yeah, but that'll be
But
okay.
yeah. And they also, well, not they, as in Google, but also the Matter protocol dropped this week, and Google Home's getting a whole new redesign to work around that.
Oh, I'm so looking
So,
forward to that because their design right now is clunky as all get out.
yeah, they're adding more automations to what you can do, and then supposedly early next year we'll have a script editor so we can write more advanced automations right in Google Home, not have to use a third party. So that'll
Yep.
be exciting. Hopefully I can automate some more stuff and not have to do it through other things.
Yeah, I would definitely love that. Um,
Especially now that my internet's faster.
yeah.
Today it tested at 206 down and 55.9 up. So
Nice.
yeah, not bad.
Not bad at all. Oh, that's awesome. I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah, yeah. Oh. And one of the things they are supposedly announcing is a new Nest Wi-Fi router with Wi-Fi 6E in
Good,
it.
good.
Yep. And that will support Thread, which is the new smart home connectivity protocol. So Thread is its own like mesh network.
Yeah.
So instead of connecting your devices to either like Wi-Fi or like through a hub, like you have a lot of Hue stuff, which uses I think Hue uses Z-Wave, right?
I
Or do they use
believe
Zigbee?
so, yeah.
Yeah. So Z-Waves is its like own uh Z-Wave uses a radio frequency, and I think Zigbee
Oh,
uses
they are not
Bluetooth.
Z-Wave compatible.
Oh, Hue?
Yeah.
Is it is it Zigbee?
Yeah, it's Zigbee protocol.
Okay. Zigbee I think uses Bluetooth, low Bluetooth LE, low energy. But Thread is going to be a whole new thing. It will be the standard connectivity protocol for uh, smart home devices, like from here out. So stuff will be able to connect faster and connect to any sort of device. So you could have, like your Google or Alexa or your what are Apple speakers called? HomeKit speaker or whatever. You'll
I
have your
don't know
speakers.
the Apple stuff.
Yeah, we don't really care. So whatever the Siri speaker or whatever it's called. You'll be able to connect like your light bulb and your smart switches and your door lock directly to those speakers rather than, through a hub or through your Wi-Fi. So you won't have stuff directly congesting your Wi-Fi network. And you won't be required to have a dedicated hub because you'll have, some speakers and Wi-Fi routers around you can connect straight to. So
Nice.
thread is going to be the really big deal,
Yeah.
but it's something where, there's only a handful of devices out currently that support it. I think like the Hub Max and um, the current set of Nest routers, not the Google Wi-Fi routers, but the one, the middle ones.
Yeah.
Couple of the Nest speakers, I think, have them. It's like just a handful of things have thread connectivity in them, but that'll be the standard coming out. So as new stuff comes out, anything that says Matter on the box should have thread and should be able to connect directly to whatever you have easily, and it all should be intercompatible. And it sounds like you should be able to use like an Alexa speaker as a Google and vice versa.
That would be awesome.
Yep.
Yeah, tomorrow's gonna be very fun things.
Yeah.
I think they're gonna primarily probably focus on the Pixel 7, the Watch, and the Buds Pro. But some of the other Wi-Fi stuff is gonna be good. I upgraded all my Wi-Fi not that long ago, to Ubiquity stuff.
Yeah.
So I went all in on Ubiquity and Unify. And yeah, I like it so far. It's a little more expensive, but with having more kids and all the connected devices and everything else, I've noticed it definitely, when you have Wi-Fi systems that can support on a commercial level of 650 or 700 stuff, there's no congestion whatsoever. And I'm sure
Yeah.
it's probably absolute overkill, but yeah, it's been good so far.
Yeah. That's cool. I'm still running the original Google Wi-Fi mesh network.
I had gone from that, and then I got a Netgear Orbi system that actually I gave to my dad, which I got to go and set it up for their new house. And then um my old Google system your dad has.
Yeah.
How's that working out for him, by the way?
Pretty good.
Okay, good.
Um, yeah, we got stuff kind of spaced out pretty good, and it covers most of their property. Well, not their
Yeah.
property, but most of where they're at. So
Good, good, good. Yeah, it's just uh been a long week, and Monday and
mhm.
Tuesday were kind of a blur, so I'm just kind of getting back into the swing of things.
Yeah, we
Gets
gotta get
fun
some
and
streaming
interesting really
going.
quick.
Yeah, I think part of it's we're old enough where we're like, oh yeah, I can still handle doing this.
Yeah.
A 15-hour day is no problem. And then after the first one, I'm like, oh my word, I'm old and tired, and I forgot.
Yep. It can definitely get that way real quick.
Yep.
But it's good, I think. I think overall overall, it's been interesting and good.
Yep.
With mosh pits going on, I almost joined in, and then I was like, "Wait a minute, Dave, you're almost 40." And the thing that stopped me was I had visions of my knees absolutely exploding, and me getting them having to stop a concert to load me onto an ambulance because my knees were gone. And I was like, I don't want to end up with no knees in Chicago. And yeah, I'm not doing this.
Yep.
As
Don't
much
need
fun as it
that.
would be, I have to keep telling myself I am not as young as I was anymore.
Yeah. You're not 25 no more, Dave.
My mind still might be my late 20s, early 30s, but my God, I've got 40-year-old knees with an added 10 years of military on top of it. So Dave could be easily fucked.
Yep.
But that's the way it works, right?
Yep.
That how it goes.
That's how it goes.
But overall, it's good. I think it's a good thing that you get older and you slow down a little bit.
Yeah, but I don't wanna.
I don't either. Well, and it doesn't help that I'm big and out of shape on top of it.
Yeah.
That never helps.
Yeah. I'm like on the borderline of being like completely out of shape. I'm not fully out of shape. Still keep up with myself, but man, doing the stuff that I do sometimes just whoops my ass.
Yep. No, I hear you on
Yeah.
that. It's gets a little interesting after a while.
Yeah. Yeah, I should come up and chop wood with me sometime.
No, I'm good. I want to be able to use my back for a month. If you have a like little hydraulic press thing that splits a hydraulic splitter, then yeah, I'll come up and lay logs down with a hydraulic splitter and chomp him. I'll do that with you.
Yeah, I do actually have one of those.
But if you want me swinging an axe, nah, my back will never handle that.
Yeah, I did that the first year we were here. I was like, okay, uh that's enough of that.
That's enough of that thing. I'm good now.
Yep. Went and bought a splitter that summer. And never looked back.
Yep. So what else is going on with you? I mean, I know from the last time we did this, all you did was one run and that
Mm,
whole job all week in Auburn.
yeah. No, I don't know. Might have blown the engine up in the Liberty. 'Cause I've been working on the Wrangler.
Cycling them.
Yep. I was hoping to get the Wrangler all fixed before I blew up the Liberty, but that didn't happen.
What happened to Liberty?
Uh, so it's just spewing out oil. Christy called me from the Meyer parking lot. She's like, the car won't start. It's like, oh crap, okay, I'll come in. Went in, it didn't have any oil in it, and there's a puddle underneath it. Uh, no. So I don't know if it like blew a seal out or what, but it already had a check engine light on, which I couldn't fix. So if something went wrong, I never noticed that the light would have come on. So I think it just blew a seal out and launched all the oil down the road and then seized itself up.
Oof.
Yep. So I'll probably just scrap that and work on building out the Wrangler and look for a new truck for myself to pull wood with.
That is unfortunate.
Yeah, it is what it is. I do have somebody's Hemi Charger sitting here in my driveway. I keep looking at it. I'm like, man, I could put that Hemi right in the Wrangler. That'd be badass.
A Wrangler with a Hemi?
Well,
Well,
yeah,
that's
why
like
not?
that guy that took the Hellcat engine and threw it in a minivan.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, and there's all sorts of engine conversion kits for Wranglers. And
Oh
most people
yeah.
put like a small block Chevy in them, or like a 289 Ford engine. But I don't see why I shouldn't put a Chrysler engine in a Chrysler truck. So it just seems like the thing to do.
Yup. No, engine
Yeah, and if I,
conversions are always fun.
yeah, yeah, and I think a Wrangler with a 5.7 Hemi would it'd be pretty wild.
I think
Also,
the Wranglers are the second most modified, with the old VW Bugs being one of the most modified because everyone's got conversion kits for anything you want to put in those things.
yeah,
But Wranglers are heavily modified and absolutely awesome. I mean, they're uh, not for naught. They're pretty awesome with how much modification you can do.
yeah. Well, and that's because they were originally designed to be like taken completely apart, packed flat on a pallet, shipped overseas by the army, and put together by a grunt, like on a beach. So
Yeah,
that like they're super easy to customize because they're super easy to come apart. It's like the door has a total of 4 bolts on it, and I can take the door like the whole door hinge off. But the door itself is already like the hinge isn't permanent. Like it's just got a sliding pin hinge, so I open the door, I pick the door up, and it's off the hinge. Like same as the windshield. Windshield has 6 bolts in it, and I can take the whole frame of the windshield off. It's it's bonkers how fast I could really tear that thing apart. And but I think that's part of why they became so popular for modifying is because it's just stupid easily to do. It's like
yeah.
2 screws and you can take a whole panel off of it, put a whole new panel on. Not to mention they're still like the best off-road vehicle ever built. They got 2 solid axles and leaf springs in the front and the back. So you can go over about anything with them.
Yeah, they're definitely a good system.
Hmm.
I don't have a real need for anything too heavy right now. I'm not. I've been eyeballing the electric ones.
Yeah, that that would be cool. That's my other option is I would honestly really like to electrify the Jeep.
Yeah,
There's a lot of options for that too, and it's all kind of overwhelming.
yeah,
My other crazy idea I had the other day. So, uh, like a flight joystick, for PC flight simulator games.
yeah, yeah.
You I want to get one of those and disassemble it and turn it into my shifter knob, and then wire all the different lights on the Jeep and the winch and stuff into the controls the on the joystick.
Okay, so that would be really cool because now I'm thinking about even doing that with my Fit, and that would be just be awesome.
Yeah. And then I could like sleek out the the panel a lot nicer, not have controls all over the place, just have them all on the right on the stick.
You
Combining
can
my
get.
nerd ability with my automotive tech skills.
Oh yeah, you can get the Wrangler 4xe, which is the 4x4 electric,
Mm-hmm.
they come in a Willys, a Sahara, and a Rubicon, as well as the high altitude.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've always liked the Willys look in the Jeep. Like, I don't know why, but the Willys has always been just spectacular for me.
Well, it's like the standard. Like you think of Jeep, and like the first image that comes into your anybody's head is the Willy style.
Yep.
You know, like gray green army color, and then just a two door, doors off, top off. That's the Willys.
Yeah, I'm just kind of poking around like, okay, what all can I do with this thing in here?
Well, and it's surprising like how much customizing you can do from the factory too. Like
Yeah, the
that's
factory
crazy.
customization is amazing.
hmm Not only that, but then you get it home, you get on like Amazon or even like there's a ton of like custom Jeep like customizing sites and businesses. And you type in like whatever your Jeep is and whatever you don't like about it. Like, type in like mine's a 95. I could type in 95 Jeep or Jeep YJ steering wheel, and it'll give me 100 million different steering wheel options.
Yup. Amazon's actually been getting really good lately about typing in your make and model and year of your car, and it will help you find the options for that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's got a whole garage section where you can like save your vehicles. You can put your VIN number in and it'll like pre-populate all the information for you, like the engine and transmission and all that. And then like you get in, you type in air filter and it says, "Hey, are you searching for this vehicle?" And you hit confirm and then it'll only show you air filters for that vehicle.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's getting pretty slick.
definitely is. Well, this isn't so much. I just customized my own Willys 4xe and only came out to $64,000.
Yeah. Well, in the world of new vehicles, that isn't terrible either. You know?
Especially in the world of brand new Wranglers.
Yeah.
I mean, well, I guess the base MSRP starts at 30,000 for the Wrangler and 54 for the Wrangler 4xe. So yeah, the electric is automatically adds another 30 grand
Yeah.
or 25 grand, which is, I guess it is what it is.
Yeah. We'll see that keep dropping.
Oh
Battery,
yeah, no, and
battery.
electric vehicles are already dropping.
Yeah. And battery tech is getting better and cheaper. And they're working on moving from electrolyte type batteries to solid state batteries, which will make a
Yep.
huge difference. And they'll be in damn near instant charge.
Well, and they're changing them up as well for easier to replace. They're not as integrated as they used to be either. So
Mm-hmm.
if you do need to replace them, you will be able to.
Yeah.
Dude, you can get a 2012 Chevy Volt with 80,000 miles for 17.9.
Huh. That's not bad.
Like 80,000 is not bad. I mean, even if you want to go up a little bit more and do like a 40,000 mile car, 26,000 is not bad for a like even the Chevy Volt is just so much cleaner.
Yeah. I've been looking
Been
at them
around for a
for
while. It's nice.
I want to use that as a battery source. I don't remember why, but supposedly their batteries hold charge longer than what like the Tesla ones do. Like the Tesla motors are still probably the best on the market. Well,
I
probably
think what
until
Tesla did really well was they brought eyeballs to the product that everyone else has
hmm
been able to kind of back on.
yeah,
I'm not saying that, they're not the worst, they're not the best, but I think what they did do really well was show people what the options were. Because a lot
yeah,
of people didn't know, they kind of brought eyeballs to, okay, electric is viable. They also
yeah,
pushed for recharge stations everywhere. And that's why we
I,
have, you can now cross country an electric vehicle and not have to freak out about it.
yeah, yeah. That's a big deal now. And that was all Tesla's doing. I think the thing they did right was with their business model. They had, they started with the Roadster at like $500,000, and used that to fund the Model S,
Yep.
which was, a little more expensive but more affordable. And then they used that to fund the Model 3.
I
So they
didn't
kind of
know that
worked
the Focus made electric vehicles back in 14.
the Ford Focus.
Yep. Ford Focus Electric 2014, 31,000 miles, 14.9.
Well, was that full electric or was that a hybrid?
I am looking.
Because I thought they were a hybrid, but I was pretty much out of the game by then.
It's full electric.
Huh. Well, isn't that
Interesting.
nifty? I still don't think I'd buy an electric or buy a Focus. I mean, I'd for sure buy
No.
an electric.
Yeah,
Oh, this says it goes all the way back to 2012.
I know. Like electrics have been around. Go once again, going back to what I was saying about Tesla, they turned the eyes on. Everyone started paying attention to electrics
Mm-hmm. Now it
because
says
they
the
built their entire
Focus.
company built around the electric world.
Yeah, the the 2012 Ford Focus EV has 76 miles of range.
Yeah, that's the other problem with the old ones.
Yeah,
And that's why it wasn't viable. I think that was the big thing that Tesla did was they pushed the industry forward on range. When they came out and they said 300 miles, everyone went nuts.
yeah. They're also doing it on power too. Like some of the Teslas are like the Model S Plaid, the P92. It's like one of the it's faster than the Dodge Hellcat. Like
Yeah,
which is the fastest ice production ice vehicle there is.
it's kind of insane.
Until you get into the hypercars like the Bugatti and stuff like that. It's the fastest regular production car. Well, and those aren't considered production. They're like one-off builds. The Bugattis and the hypercars and that madness. But yeah, the Hellcat being like the fastest ice engine, and then you have what looks like a family sedan coming from Tesla, which is faster than that. It's bonkers.
Yep.
And speaking of which, I had somebody. at the fair I bumped into and I chatted with for a minute, and we, he was the floor sweeper, and we were chatting about sweeping floors, and then somehow like I I don't understand how people's brains work sometimes because we were talking about sweeping the floor, and then he goes, well, you know, you got them bleeding heart liberals in California trying to ban cars. I just kind of had a blank stare, like, what? He goes, yeah, you won't be able to buy anything gas. You can only buy an electric out there. I'm like, okay, so that makes more sense, but yeah. He's like, he goes, I'd like to see one of them electrics try and get up through the mountains. And I was like, okay, buddy, so hold on. I have a gas engine car at my house. It's all-wheel drive and twin turbo with almost 400 horsepower. And my buddy Chris has a Tesla, which is he has what the Model 3. It's the
Yep.
most basic, cheap base model that Tesla makes. And that has more power and is faster than my car. And my car is balls to the walls fast. And his car, the cheap base model, is faster. And the guy just had this like blank stare, like I didn't know what I was talking about. And I was like, dude, I rode in that and I was set back in my seat like I was driving a stock car again. It's like I've raced stock cars, like I built dragsters in school. Like I know some shit about some cars. I know when I got set back in my seat, and that Tesla did it. Like it doesn't my car doesn't set me back in my seat. Like you can feel the power in it, but I didn't have like the crunch in my stomach that the Tesla did.
Yeah.
And I was just like, you're you're gonna be mind blown like in the next couple of years when you go to buy a new truck and all there is an electric and you get in that thing and you're doing 0 to 60 in, 2.3 seconds. Like
Yep.
you're gonna shit a brick, old man.
Well, and they say, they kind of go on the whole tyrant about California be banning gas powered cars. What they leave out is by 2035.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking. Let's go ahead and just wrap up 2012 right now. That's still or 2022. That's still 12 years in the future. I don't think.
Yeah.
I think you're going to have a hard time finding gas powered cars for sale anywhere. Regulations be damned
Yeah.
by 2035. I mean, there's the switchover is happening quick, especially in like even in trucks. The new
Yeah.
the Ford F series that are electric, they're outselling the gas powered ones now.
Yeah. They sold out before they even got them like out of pre-sale. They sold out of them in pre-sale. Like the Silverado, the Chevy, like the Chevy's got the whole platform. I like Chevy's idea. They have a skate. It's called Altium, and it's
Yeah.
it's like an electric skateboard, and then they can slap whatever body and stuff on it they want. So the Ford truck or the Chevy truck is going to be the Silverado, the Blazer, and the Equinox, and then probably whatever Buick has, as well as whatever the GMC stuff is. And that's going to be it. You're going to be buying an electric vehicle from Chevy. If you buy a new Chevy next year, it's electric.
Yep. Um, the F-150 Lightnings are lasting on average 8 hours on a lot before they sell out. And then
That's
an
crazy.
F-150, that's not your plant eating California hippie is not buying a Ford F-150 Lightning.
Yeah.
That's not a small footprint. It is absolutely getting dominated,
Yeah.
and they're they're gonna keep pushing. And I think as the demand goes up for that, the demand for gas power is gonna start plummeting. And what they're gonna do is, um, what they're gonna do. Oh, it wasn't the F-150 that the electric outsold the gas. I was wrong. It was the Mach E, the Mustang. The Mustang Mach E was outselling Mustang coupes. So I
God
was
damn.
right on the
Think,
manufacturer and the electric over. I was just wrong on which one it was. But yeah, I mean, the demand for electric is just going to keep climbing. Everyone's dumping into it because they see it as the future. By the time 2035 rolls around, you're going to have a hard time finding gas powered cars, I think.
yeah. Now, on the Mustang thing, that's hilarious that it's outselling the coupe, but I'm still
Yeah.
pissed that they called it a Mustang because it doesn't look like a Mustang. Like
No,
Mustang
it looks
has
it
had
looks
a
like a
look.
remodeled Tesla Y.
Yeah. It looks like the what was it? The Escape, I think. It's like
Yeah,
almost
but
between an Escape and a Flex, and I'm like, why didn't you just call it a fucking Escape or
while
Ugh.
but while we're at bitching about why Mustang did that, go look at the late 70s into the 80s at the Mustang, and that thing is a fucking Taurus hatchback.
Yeah. Yeah.
This isn't the first time that they've
Well,
gotten away
I'm
from their traditional Mustang cave in the door a little bit and all that. That there was a series of almost 5 years where you could not, it was hard to see the difference between a Mustang and I think it was the Taurus, wasn't it? Or whatever that other Ford fucking thing that it was.
well, there was that and there was yeah, I don't remember what the other one was. It wasn't the Taurus because that was like the late 80s when that came about. And the Mustang had the Fox body when the Taurus came out. Um I imagine it's going to be like the other Ford Brilliant Ideas where it's going to be they'll call it that for 2 years and then they'll rename it to like Taurus, which is exactly what they did with the Ford 500 because nobody remembered the Ford 500 name when it
Mm-hmm.
came out, and so it sold pretty decent like the first year, and then the second and third year there wasn't good sales, but then they renamed it the Taurus, and then it became like the best-selling vehicle ever again. So we'll see it sell good this year, and then we'll have 2 years of probably not so good sales, and then they'll be like, well, we'll call it Taurus now.
And while we're
And
on
I
talking about, getting getting crazy off-road stuff, the and speed and fast and all this, right? So
yeah
GM has released out the Hummer EV.
yeah
So an electric Hummer, 0 to 60 in 3.5 seconds and available up to 11,500 pound-foot torque.
wait how 1100
11,500
pound-foot of torque.
pound-foot of torque.
That's stupid. That's crazy. You know what my favorite bumper sticker is? I
And it's a
saw on a Jeep.
goddamn Hummer. What?
There it was on a Jeep and it said, "Of course it's a Jeep. If I wanted a Hummer, I'd call your mom."
Ooh, yeah.
I've been trying I've
I
been trying
wish
to
I
talk
wish they
Christy
would
into getting that.
release the electric with the military look Hummer instead of the
Yeah,
H2
the
style
H1.
or the
Yeah,
H1 or whatever it was.
before they were called Hummer.
I mean,
Before GM
once
bought them.
GMC bought Hummer, the H1, it's a Suburban with a different chassis is what it, or yeah, it was what it is. Or a Suburban with a
Yep.
different body.
Yep.
But yeah, even GMC's, you get the GMC Hummer EV.
Yeah.
And that thing is, I mean, and they built it for the extreme off-road types people.
Yeah. Well, and we were talking about the farmers. It's like as soon as a farmer buys one of the new Silverados to pull their wagons with,
Yep.
and they find out like the basic Silverado has 780 horse-pounds of torque and 660 horsepower, and I think it pulls 12,500 pounds. I think I'm trying to flip through the site real quick to confirm that number because whatever the number was bonkers. And it, like the towing capacity was compared to like almost a 2 ton, and it looks like just the regular half-ton truck.
Yeah.
So and they do that and they're not spending money on gas. They don't have a $400 a week fuel bill. They have like
Yep.
a $5 a week charge bill. That's when it's gonna rocket. Like the when the farmers get into it, it's gonna be out of hand. And I know there's already probably plenty of them, especially in the larger commercial farmers that are probably jumping on him,
Yep.
and it's just gonna trickle down from there.
Yeah, it's they're everyone's coming out with it and everyone's doing it, and they're proving that you don't have to sacrifice the body the body frames that you want for EV. You can do them all.
Yeah.
And it's a brave new world out there, and it's coming. It's coming fast. I'm looking forward to it. I was
Yep.
talking to Hills, and I think the Fit that I just got will be the last gas powered car I ever own.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think I'll buy any more. I think I want to convert the Jeep to an electric, and then I'll probably keep the Stealth as like just a specialty racing car. But I don't know if I buy another like family vehicle, it's gonna be electric. Not sure, wouldn't mind one of the Silverados. There, other than it has that like slant on the back of the cabin that looks like the Avalanche, which I'm not a real big fan of, but they look pretty good. Like even the
Yeah.
F-150 looks good. How's that work? Yeah, I don't see that. I don't see their polling spec on the site anymore. Oh, here it is. Oh, 10,000 pounds on the initial one, and then future models. A future WT model? I don't know what that means. It says WT model could be up to 20,000 pound towing, which is ridiculous. My buddy just bought a F350 or an E350 van with a 7.3 diesel in it, and that tows 12,500. So this electric Silverado almost matches the big ass diesel.
You can buy electric car conversion kits or even hybrid electric conversion kits for cars.
Hmm. I've even seen you should check out Edison Motors on TikTok.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I've seen them before. They'll electrify other stuff.
yeah, and what they're doing is they're doing big trucks, and they're taking like the transmission and all the drivetrain out. They're putting motors on the axles, and then they're slapping a generator on the back of the diesel engine in the truck and using that to charge the batteries. So it's got batteries in it, so they can still plug in and charge, but they could be towing down the road, and if their charge level gets low, they can turn on the engine, which powers the generator and charges the batteries. So then they can keep going.
Nice.
Yeah, which that makes a ton of sense, especially on like big rig trucks where, they're putting in 1,000 miles in a day.
Yep.
Keeps the fuel consumption way down. Like I want to see some more of that come out too.
Wish it wasn't so expensive to convert though.
Yep.
Looking at some of the conversion kits for like my Fit, for example,
Yeah.
and for the motor and the batteries and everything, it looks like it's going to be about a $10,000 to $12,000 investment to convert it all.
Yeah. That's about what I was looking at for the Wrangler too. Like 10 to
I
12.
think that's going to be
Yeah.
about standard. I think if you want to convert over, it's going to be about 12 grand.
Yeah. I think I can probably get away with doing cheaper because I have, the facility here to do it, and
Yep.
I can go junkyarding essentially and buy parts, and then I'll make Chris write me the software to make it work.
Yeah. That's the other thing is going to be the software and stuff.
Yeah.
And then what will the batteries, what range are you going to get out of a conversion battery?
I have no idea. But that'll really depend on
Weight.
whatever kind of motor configuration I go with, and yeah, the weight. I have a lot of options. I can do motors on the axles and then, free up space, make myself a frunk out of the on the Jeep, or I can there's some like swap in motors where I can put in an electric motor, attach it to the regular transmission and run it that way. You know, there's almost too many options for me to kind of sit and decide on one.
It's still
But
very much a DIY. It was almost like back before there were companies doing a lot of stuff with the vaping, and it was all
mhm,
DIY stuff, and trying to get into it was just a minefield of where do I start?
yeah, yep,
I say, you give it another 4 years and there's going to be, you go to a website, you plug in your make and model of car and it will spit out everything that you need including instruction kit.
yeah, yeah. That won't be long. There's
Nah, I
there's
don't
even some. I think Chris sent me one site that had something like that where they have some pre-built kits, but it's some like specialty niche cars. There was like an I think one of the old minis on it, like an AMG something, and like the Volkswagen Beetle, stuff like that.
yeah.
But I haven't found like a plug and play kit specifically for a Wrangler yet. So might be coming up with my own system.
Well, fun. Yeah, I think tomorrow
Yep.
we'll do the Google run up and I need to get thumbnails made for putting our episodes that we've recorded so far onto YouTube. I don't know if you get a chance to look at how I kind of set that up with the audio side and give me a thumbs up or thumbs down real fast if you like it or not.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I can do
And I'll
that
get
today.
those pushed out.
Okay. Woohoo. Back to the YouTubes now.
Yeah, I wanted to get back on the YouTubes for a minute. But I also, because now that we're running full audio, need to figure that out.
Yeah. I think your idea
So
sounded pretty good and I'm excited to see it. And then in action. So
Yeah, it's a little different than how I was running it before, but it's all
yeah,
right.
it is what it is.
I
We're
had to make
working with
I
it.
had to make a couple of adaptations because it didn't look good the way I was picturing it in my head.
Yeah, that's okay.
So, all right, man.
It'll be awesome.
We'll do that tomorrow, and then we'll record another episode next week.
Sounds good. Bye,
Awesome.
guys.
See you guys.